5 seconds to go. Start. Friends, the work of two sisters, Kamala and Janvi, is also fantastic. These two sisters create content on spirituality, philosophy, and music. There is another young person's channel on Instagram called Sanskrit Chaturaham. The young person who runs this channel not only provides information related to Sanskrit but also makes humorous videos in Sanskrit. Young people really like these videos in Sanskrit. Many of you may have also seen Samasthi's videos. Samasti presents her songs in Sanskrit in myriad ways. Another young person is Bhavesh Bhimnathani. Bhavesh talks about Sanskrit shlokas, spiritual philosophy, and principles. Friends, language is the carrier of the values and traditions of any civilization. Sanskrit has fulfilled this duty for thousands of years. It is pleasing to observe that some young people are now fulfilling their duty towards Sanskrit as well. My dear countrymen, I will now take you into flashback. Imagine the early 20th century. At that time, there was no hope of freedom anywhere in sight. The British had crossed all limits of exploitation throughout India, and in that era, the period of repression was even more horrific for the patriotic people of Hyderabad. They were also forced to endure the atrocities of the cruel and merciless Nizam. There was no limit to the atrocities committed against the poor, the deprived, and the tribal communities. Their lands were snatched away, and heavy taxes were also imposed. If they protested against this injustice, even their hands were cut off. Friends, in such difficult times, a young man of about 20 years of age stood up against this injustice. Today, I am discussing that young man for a special reason. Before disclosing his name, I will tell you about his bravery. Friends, during that era, when even uttering a word against the Nizam was a crime, that young man openly challenged an officer of the Nizam named Siddiqui. The Nizam had sent Siddiqui to confiscate the farmers' crops. But in this struggle against oppression, that young man killed Siddiqui. He also successfully managed to evade arrest, escaping from the tyrannical police of the Nizam. That young man reached Assam hundreds of kilometers away. Friends, the great personality I am talking about is Komaram Bhim. His birth anniversary was celebrated on the 22nd of October. Komaram Bhim did not live a long life, he only lived for 40 years, but during his lifetime, he left an indelible mark on the hearts of countless people, especially the tribal community. He instilled new strength in those fighting against the Nizam. He was also known for his strategic skills. He became a major challenge to the Nizam's rule. He was killed by the Nizam's men in 1940. I urge the youth to try to learn as much as possible about him. Friends, next month on the 15th, we will celebrate the Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. This is the auspicious occasion of the birth anniversary of Bhagwan Birsa Munda. I respectfully pay my homage to Bhagwan Birsa Munda. The work he did for the country's independence and for the rights of the tribal community is unparalleled. It was my great fortune to have had the opportunity to visit Ulihatu, the village of Bhagwan Birsa Munda in Jharkhand. I touched the soil of that land to my forehead in reverence. Just like Bhagwan Birsa Munda and Komaram Bhir, there have been many other great luminaries in our tribal communities. I urge you to definitely read about them. My dear countrymen, I receive numerous messages from you for Mann Ki Baat. Many people discuss the talented persons in their vicinity in these messages. I am very happy to read that innovative ideas are being implemented even in our small cities, towns, and villages. If you know of such individuals or groups who are dedicated to transforming society with a spirit of service, do tell me about them. I will be waiting for your messages as always. We will meet again next month in another episode of Mann Ki Baat with some new topics. Until then, I bid you adieu. Thank you all very much. Namaste. Stop.